Greetings. Today we move to a study of the book of 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 1 through 6. We've entitled the message, The Present Warfare. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 1 says, For as much then as Christ had suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of God. For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revellings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries, wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excessive riot, speaking evil of you, who shall give an account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead. For this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to God in the Spirit. Now let me say the first thing which caught my attention in these verses was the constant shifting of our attention to the past tense, the present tense, and the future tense. Because of what Christ has done in the past, we're to be doing something different in the present, in 1 Peter 4:1. And that present tense continues into 1 Peter 4:2. 1 Peter 4:3 then takes us back to the past tense of our personal life, when we were bond slaves to sin and served as its habitual slave. 1 Peter 4:4 points out that in the present time, people think it's strange that we do not continue to live as we did in past time. Then 1 Peter 4:5 returns to the future tense, in which all will be judged by God, the eternal judge of all the earth. And 1 Peter 4:6 speaks of the past preaching of the gospel having a present effect for a future judgment. 1 Peter 4:1 literally says, Therefore Christ, having suffered for us in the flesh, even you all arm yourselves with the same mind, because the one having suffered in the flesh, he has ceased from sin himself. Now the word arm here implies preparation for a military battle. It is Strong's number 3695, oplizo. This verb form is only used here in the New Testament. The noun form of the same word, Strong's 3696, oplon, is used 5 times, and it would be very instructive for us to review. In John 18 and verse 3, it says, Judas then, having received a band of men and officers from the chief priests and Pharisees, cometh thither with lanterns and torches and weapons. That's how it's translated in that verse. Armed with weapons. Romans 6:13, Neither yield your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto God as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto God. There, arm means to be yielded as an instrument. Romans 13:12, The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. 2 Corinthians 6:7, By the word of truth, by the power of God, by the armor of righteousness on the right hand and on the left. And then finally in the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10, For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ, and having in readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled.